Welcome back. So when we left off, we were very close to being finished integrating our vassal. We finished the war with the Agarian Union. The Righteous League is continuing to expand pretty aggressively through liberation wars. I'm really hoping they get some sort of nasty event that messes them up. One of the things that a lot of other Paradox games have that Stellaris does not is that I can't force the Righteous League to break up. So it doesn't matter what happens to them, they will always kind of be one giant mass of nations. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. In other games you could break alliances and disband things and whatnot. But in Stellaris, you're just kind of forced to deal with it over and over, and I'm afraid that this game is going to end up being a series of battles against the Righteous League, which I don't really want to do, but I may not have too many options. And this guy just popped up. That's interesting. So I got my Warp Drive 3 and tachyon sensors. I got partial credit on that from salvage, so I'm going to go ahead and research those because they're really good. And I'm going to take a moment to update some designs. So, alright, I have new reactors and everything. I don't have new guns though. I still haven't solved that problem, but I can do this and just generally improve my existing ships. And we'll start with the shields and then just add these things until we're good. Actually, I'm going to pause it. We just finished integrating our vassal. And so the first thing I'm going to do is spend some of this energy to make sure this planet is terraforming the direction that I want it to go. It's going to finish terraforming in a couple days to the wrong climate type. This planet, I don't think we need the frontier outpost on. And so let me destroy his stuff, and I'll finish updating the blueprints real quick since I'm about to refit ships. And I want guns there, want armor everywhere, and then we'll grab enough power to get in the positive. Alright, so we will upgrade his ships, and we control too many planets, so what we're actually going to do is take our sector that we want to keep and simply add all of the new worlds to it. Now, so when the two sectors are next to each other like this, what we can actually do without spending influence is assign them to our other sector, and we don't have to pay for it. We can just do this, and that is how we're going to get rid of one of our sectors entirely. Done. Now we have a sector that is very large. The biggest benefit of that is that if we look, this sector is now producing a ton of resources, and it's already stockpiling greatly. So I'm going to put it on 75% tax, and suddenly I've got a lot of extra money sitting around. Okay, so we're doing alright on resources. We're going to terraform to an alpine world because we like alpine worlds the most. And once I settle that world, I'll actually delete the outpost there as well. because I don't need them. Although now that this empire rose up, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to declare war on them. And I'm just going to cede the planet. Nah, I'm not going to do that. The ships I inherited have finished refitting, so I'm going to merge them with my fleet. And I think what I want to do is actually spend some more influence. No, that's too much. We'll keep what we have for now and deal with it. And we do have a lot of unexploited things in our empire. The sector's space construction also seems to be broken. I've found that I have to build all this stuff myself, but it's alright. My construction ship was just sitting around not doing anything anyway. Forgot to add that to the sector. It kind of decreases my income to add everything to the sector like this. The sector really only needs the planets that, or the stars that have planets on them. Investigate Star Mag. So that means I found another enclave. Nice. And I will research them because it is a very short project. And get the time going again.
Special project complete.
And it's an artisan troop. Artisan troops can be pretty interesting. I believe earlier in the episode, or in an earlier episode, I was mentioning this motherfucker. Oh wait, no, that's my vassal. Never mind. I'll just integrate him later. This guy, though, I want to seed his planets, but I need to be able to connect them to my sector, which means I need to grab some of these first. That's alright. See what else we got going on. 7 months until battleships. I really need to get a new gun. I'm hoping I get some kind of new weapon on the list. I have not been able to do that yet.
Construction complete.
And because I no longer had that other sector, I was no longer suppressing the faction, which gave me a little extra influence per month. But I need to suppress these people. On top of that, you'll notice, though, it was 0.82 to suppress per month. Now it's only 0.66 because a smaller percentage of the sector is actually part of the rebelling faction. And that's a pretty important part of it. Now, this is interesting. Beta aliens, but I have no project for them. Who are they? They look like somebody's pirates. And that's... Alright. So, your vassals will frequently have rebellions pop up. The game doesn't notify you about it, though. You'll just sometimes suddenly have a war that you have to address. So what I'm going to do is move there, and then enter orbit there. I've got my ships on the way. My robot armies and my actual fleet are both en route. Yeah, I think my vassal would lose this left to his own devices. The other vassal may also already be on his way down too. I'm not sure. But the war will just kind of happen, and you'll never get a notification, which is a little annoying. And it will happen pretty often with vassals. They are pretty terrible at managing factions, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They could pretty easily suppress them, but they don't. Okay, so crystalline fuse plating is the 5%. Fuck, no gun.
Survey complete.
So instead what I'm gonna do is pick something cheap to reroll. It's not really cheap, but it is good. An extra 5% health. And you can see the rebels are now building their own space station. Let's see. Oh, that means I have my battleships though. So I'm going to design those real quick. I want them to be artillery across the board. Fill all the empty slots. Fill all the empty slots. And then we'll put enough reactors on to be positive. Keep the naming scheme consistent. And let's upgrade some spaceports. And we'll land our robot armies. Take this world back and end this rebellion real quick.
Hostile fleet engaged.
That's interesting. Said I had a vassal, but not a name that I recognized. Oh, okay, yeah.
Hostile
There are two different rebellion factions. That's ridiculous.
construction complete. Construction complete.
Like I said, they're terrible at managing their rebellions.
Updated. Construction complete.
And you can see the fleet capacity has shot upward.
System survey complete. Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated. Enemy planet secured.
So we'll move our armies to the New World. The one rebellion is as good as over. Let's see if we can negotiate it. Yep, the one rebellion is gone. And you can see our armies are healing up in space real quick. I'm just waiting for them to get their health up. I don't want to lose robot armies for no good reason. No, even though the planet's at 0, I want to, I'm waiting on the armies to heal now, not the fortifications to be lowered. But that's good enough. Alright, so how many cruisers do we have in our main fleet? We have 25 cruisers. So I will build an extra 5 cruisers as well, which will give us 30 cruisers, and we've got 5 battleships on the way. Our fleet capacity just shot up. That is good technology to have. Oh, right. This planet is fully developed, so I no longer need that frontier outpost. That'll free up some more influence for us. And the colony ship isn't even going there to build that mining station.
Enemy planet secure.
And there we go. Both rebel factions defeated.
Construction
So we send our fleet home. That's amazing though. I've never seen them that bad with the factions. Like getting a rebel faction is pretty normal, but getting two like that is something else.
system service.
And this guy's really good, actually. Because he's an intellectual, he'll increase the research output for the entire sector, which, because the bulk of my empire is one giant sector, is a huge advantage. Actually, I'm going to add to the front of the list a frontier outpost here. I'm feeling alright about it now. And we'll get these two worlds terraforming. I don't control nearly enough. I want more stuff.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Alright, so now we're at 330 out of 336, but we have an alright amount of overflow on our resources. So what I'm actually going to do is build some more battleships with it. Alright. So that'll give us 10 battleships and 30 cruisers. I'd like a little more battleships in the fleet, but we still have a bunch of small ships that haven't been killed yet. And they're kind of padding it out and also taking some space. So let's see. Yep, the construction ship is on its way. I forgot to upgrade my civilian ships with the warp drive 3. That is important. So we'll actually tell him to upgrade first. We'll get that done. Again, control shift clicking adds it to the front of the list. I think I said I was going to stop mentioning that, but I'll do what I want. So he failed at the anomaly. Save over the old design.
Research complete.
And yeah, for some reason the auto update will update almost everything except the FTL. So we'll get our science ships upgrading. So the primitives on Jumla broke out of their reservations. Ooh. I think I have to go with border range. That is too good. Those other technologies were really nice, but border range, man. How am I supposed to argue with border range? And while the battleships were constructed, our fleet capacity got high enough to support them. Thinking them with that.
Complete. Ships upgraded. Construction complete.
And another rebel faction. Wow. This is something else. This is a useless vassal. And where are they going? I am also going to construct a stack of xenomorph armies. because xenomorph armies are amazing. And I'm going to delete my assault armies entirely.
Ships upgraded.
Yeah, this is almost every single one of his planets has at one time or another.
Incoming transmission. Research complete.
Almost every one of his planets has managed to rebel at least once, which is insanity. Alright, there we go. Better guns. Get a railgun going. I'm going to take the opportunity to not continually be so far behind on weapons technology. And yeah, I haven't even managed to upgrade this fleet yet. That's impressive. And what are the... Yeah, okay, unmanned battle group. That's kind of neat. They flavor the names of all of the armies based on the type of army. Because these are all robot armies, they are unmanned battle groups, which I think is a neat thing. A nice little touch. This is my auto explorer.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Send him off to do stuff. Fleet's taking out the mining station real quick.
Situation log updated.
Yep, there's another rebellion. This is excessive. I've never seen it this bad before. This is 4 rebellions in basically as many years. That's something else.
Hostile fleet engaged.
I should just keep my fleet down here. This is apparently where they need to be.
Situation log updated.
Bomb the world down. And get them landing. Now that this frontier outpost is finished, I will terraform it to an alpine world. And the savannah world will also be an alpine world, because that's how I roll. And these guys are fighting. I don't think they're going to lose, so I'm just going to move to his next system, or the next rebellion.
Secure.
Embark my armies, 1 rebellion down. Enter orbit here. This is insane. This is honestly the most rebels I think I've ever seen.
System survey complete.
And you can see the xenomorph armies are coming along nicely. Waiting for it to get below 60 or 600. So now, get armies on the ground, handle that. Let's construction ship. He's got some more stuff to build when he's done all that other stuff he's building. It's a very busy construction ship right now. He's over there on the other side of the Empire, actually conquering stuff. Or, building on things. So, rebellion's handled. And against my better judgment, I'm going to send my fleets home. And let them return home and then have them upgrade. So now I think I actually want the Xeno cavalry attachments on them. My favorite attachment is actually Clone Commandos, which is a 25% damage bonus. And as I've mentioned, I like increasing the damage of my armies, because the faster I can kill the enemy, the less time they have to do damage to me. And since I'm attacking when I have a double damage bonus, stacking extra damage just further exacerbates the problem and allows me to conquer planets more quickly. But it is what it is. Alright, so gather the fleets up. Alright, so now the robot armies, like I was saying, 2.14 to 4.29 damage and 400 health. The Xenomorph armies, you can see 4.3 to 8.6 damage and 460 health. They would have more damage if I had given them the same attachment and the same amount of health, but the damage is the biggest difference here. They will deal, on average, something like 2 times as much as the robot armies, with the same amount of health. So they're not flimsy either. So now I've got my fleet returning home, and I added a upgrade order to the list. So all is going fairly well. Got tachyon sensors, which improves the tracking of my ships. I think I'm going to research the improved deflectors. I don't strictly need them. Ooh, another weapons tech. Yeah, let's get this weapons tech. I feel like there's a few things I'm actually missing from my ships, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend a few minutes in here. Yep, crystal infused plating. And the better sensors. And I've got better weapons. So I'll have to drop an armor, but that's alright. Alright, so my battleships are much stronger. And let's see about my cruisers. New sensors, new weapons. Actually, I'm going to let the clock run because it is toward the beginning of the year rather than the end. And I want crystal infused plating. And I need more power. So there we go. Guess I'll grab better sensors for these guys. I actually need quite a bit of upgrading on these. So we're gonna grab that. System survey is just the auto explorer doing his thing. So we're actually gonna trade there. Got a better destroyer. And we shouldn't have too much difficulty. Ugh. Alright. It's alright, my Corvettes should be on the way out anyway. I just need things to actually shoot them and be done with it. Alright. So now we'll go through the planets again and see how we're doing on our structures. And the answer is not great. Not great. But we can fix that. Build more structures. I think one thing I'm actually going to do is commission an art. So the one really nice part about the artisan troop is that they allow you to purchase buildings that dramatically increase happiness of your people, which I'm going to do shortly. And this video is a little longer than I want, but it's coming up on the end of the year, and I kind of want to knock a few of these out just to show them off real quick. So we go down to the artisan troop, and you can commission 5 art. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do this until he stops working. And letting the days tick a little bit. And so there's the first of the year. And I will go ahead and commission the rest of the art. You can see my opinion of him is at 50. If I tried to buy another art from him, he talks about his artistic integrity, which I don't really care about his artistic integrity. I want his buildings, and he's being a dick about it. But the art monument, you can see it increases happiness, decreases xenophobia, and increases migration attraction, which on a tile that's not producing anything anyway, it's really nice to be able to put art on it. And they cost no additional resources. I've already paid for it when I commissioned the art piece. And so what I'm actually going to be doing is on some of these empty tiles, I will be building art for my people. Because sometimes they need neat stuff to look at. And when you have an abundance of resources, you might as well get them neat stuff to look at. Sounds fair, right? Alright, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end this finally. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you're enjoying.